Thank you, Jenny, for inviting me to speak today. I'm going to talk more about the alternatives to WestConnex as far as public transport is concerned. But a few observations that we've been making. Now, since 2004, when petrol prices increased to 90 cents, vehicle VKT, which is vehicle kilometres travelled, has actually been flatlining in Sydney. So the amount of kilometres that people have actually been travelling in their cars has actually not been increasing by the amount that it has been. This trend has been continuing, and so the justification to spend $16 billion or more than $16 billion on a motorway, which may not even be needed in the future, because as petrol prices increase, which they will, despite the current lower prices, it seems we can't see any justification for that when people's demand for public transport will be increasing. The reasons given to support the WestConnex are Parramatta Road has too much traffic and needs relief. The M5 can't cope with the volume of traffic currently using it. It will provide better access to Sydney Airport and container movements to and from Port Botany. Their own modelling indicates that WestConnex will not perform as per these justifications. Many motorists will avoid paying these tolls and use Parramatta Road, Canterbury Road and other local roads to avoid the extra impost in their budgets, increasing, not decreasing, the traffic volumes on these roads. In addition, there are no funded connections to either Port Botany or the airport. So trucks will almost certainly still use local roads to save the cost of the tolls. The result will be that people with money may have quicker travelling times on WestConnex, while those without will take longer on the suggested local roads. What are the alternatives? Eco-Transport has put forward several public transport alternatives that would solve the problems of traffic congestion on Parramatta Road and the M5 and reduce the number of container movements by road in and out of Port Botany. Currently there are 6,000 vehicles using Parramatta Road between 7 and 9 a.m, many of which have single occupant. If only 2,000 of these vehicles could be taken off the road, the traffic would flow freely for the tradies and other vehicles who have to use it. Eco-Trans has put forward proposals that would take more than 4,000 people per hour from Homebush to Central in 90 minutes. We call this the Pipita Express. It involves utilising the Olympic Park line and spare capacity on the Western Express tracks. It involves building a new station at Pipita, straddling Parramatta Road and the M4, with a large park and ride facility adjacent to it. Details can be found on our YouTube channel. If you want to Google Eco-Transit YouTube, and you'll see a 3-part series, Grinders Folly, and we detail all our public transport alternatives in that. We also have a proposal for light rail down Parramatta Road to Olympic Park, where it would link up with the proposed Parramatta light rail network. This also has the potential to remove thousands of cars from Parramatta Road, as it would interchange at Pipita with the Pipita Express and the park and ride facility. WestConnex will provide only a few on and off ramps, which will not connect to the local community, whereas the light rail will be able to feed commuters into many commercial and retail areas along Parramatta Road. Eco-Transit also has proposals that would reduce the traffic volumes on the M5. These include a new light rail line, which we call the East West Transit Link, would be a continuation of the Dulwich Hill in the west light rail. It would head east via Marrickville, Sydenham Station, the domestic airport, and onto Kensington, where it would link up with the southeast light rail. This would enable commuters travelling from the southwest to access the airport, the Southern Industrial Zone and the Randwick Medical and Education precincts. Eco-Transit also proposes a new station on the airport line at Doody Street and the removal of the gate fee in both airport stations. There was a 70% increase in the patronage at Mascot and Green Square when the gate fee was removed from these two stations. Doody Street is located in the middle of the Southern Industrial Zone, and it would no doubt be very well patronised. Eco-Transit has for many years campaigned to have the Port Botany freight line duplicated for its full length to increase the number of train movements to and from the port. The aim should be to shift 60% of container traffic onto rail for distribution into Sydney's west. This would drastically reduce the number of container trucks on local roads. Now, we've done some basic costings of what our transport proposals would cost. We estimate at known costs of similar infrastructure in Australia to be under $3.5 billion. This compared to over $16 billion for the WestConnex, saving some $13 billion. Thank you.